Hello, this is Professor Tom with the story about how I got my Ph.D. Now, having Asperger's made it so that I really couldn't get a good job or socially interact to make stuff happen for me. But at one point I was married to a woman from China, and she got a job on the Mackay Indian Reservation. So we packed up from Lawrence, Kansas and moved there, and anyway, it was a really nice place to live. The tribal members are great people, and I'm not joking, okay? Well, there wasn't much to do there, though. It's on the very tip of the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. It rains a lot there, and the population was probably less than 2,000. And to get to a city of any size was Port Angeles, and that was a 1 to 2 hour drive over mountains on windy roads. So there wasn't that much to do there, but they had a cultural center, and I went there just to look around. And anyway, again, nothing really happened. I'm not connected to the tribe. But at one point, I get told that a linguist had come to study their language. Well, I meet up with the guy. And he was surprised I knew so much about linguistics. Well, I'd briefly been in grad school for linguistics, but again, financing it and a whole bunch of other stuff. I had never gotten through, but language had always been my interest. I mean, since I was a little kid, foreign languages were my interest. I understood language. So we started talking. And he was a grad student working on his Ph.D. at SUNY at Buffalo. And anyway, at one point, he told me how surprised he was how much I knew about linguistics. And the subject came up of me getting into grad school. Well, one thing came to another, because I didn't have any money to finance it. But it was finally told that if I went there and enrolled, that they would give me a TA-ship for 1 year. 2, if I was really good. Well, there's one thing about getting a TA-ship. Now remember, I was like 42, 43 at the time, and the only thing that got me in was my incredibly high GRE scores, which, in spite of what they tell you, that's the best predictor of whether you're going to make it through grad school. So anyway, we went there. I didn't think about, oh, what happens if it doesn't work, because a PhD program without the dissertation is 4 years of classes. But we took up and went there because my ex-wife's contract was running out, and so off we went, clear across the United States, from Washington State to New York State, to Buffalo, New York, yay! Actually, Amherst, New York. But anyway, what happened is I get there, and a lot of people didn't like me that were in the faculty simply because I was older. And they knew from experience that older grad students tended to not follow directions, or so I was told. But there was another group that did like me because I was into documenting other languages. So anyway, I get there, And one thing that had happened was New York State was cutting liberal arts programs. And the reason why they were doing this was because it had grown so big in certain departments. Like philosophy had more tenured professors than classes they taught every year. Okay? So what would happen is when any tenured professor retired, they wouldn't renew the line. Well, that was going through all the liberal arts. Well, my program had originally been just a Ph.D. program in linguistics, but one way you could keep your funding up was by the numbers. So they started an undergraduate program, a major in linguistics. Well, I did my first TA-ship, which means that basically I was giving classes. But I got the second year. Now, again, you're not paying any tuition and you get a small stipend every month. I mean, we could actually live on it because that was before the Bush-Iraqi war inflation. So anyway, what happened was I was given the second year and a third year and a fourth year, and if I could get enough students, even summers. So except for the first summer we were there where I worked as a motel maid because I knew that I could get a job doing that in 10 seconds if I wouldn't have applied because my parents used to own motels. I ended up only teaching classes at the University at Buffalo, and I got the stipend. So at one point my friend Matt, who had gotten me into the program, encouraged me to apply. He was surprised because grad students generally get 1 or 2 classes during their entire time in grad school, but I got one every semester. Even after I completed the coursework for 2 years as I was working on my dissertation, we lived in Buffalo, and I taught classes. Then we decided to move to Oklahoma as I was getting closer to finishing my dissertation. So we did, and anyway, it also turns out that one of the best linguists in the world was working there. That's Matthew Dreyer. You can find him online with the WALS, World Atlas of Languages. He was instrumental in creating that. But anyway, so I ended up writing a dissertation on the Sherpa language because we had a field methods class, and he quickly realized that I could grasp the grammar from the examples quicker than the other students. Yeah, okay. But remember, I've been looking at languages and thinking about how languages were put together since I was a teenager, an early teenager. So anyway, I worked on it, got my Ph.D. because I got my dissertation. But other than one semester when I was in Oklahoma where I had to enroll for one class, which was a couple of $100, I never even paid any tuition to get my Ph.D. Pretty cool. But anyway, that's just an experience that I had in my life. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.